Tonight we're reviewing The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 4, titled Service.
This episode was pretty fucked up. I mean, it was more or less just an audit where the government, it was like the government came in without a courtesy reach around. I mean, it was pretty bad. He was taking freaking everything. Chairs, mattresses, and everything. I still understand, I don't know, I do kind of understand why he would be taking, furniture and stuff like that, because you would figure, by this point they're not getting anything new, so they might as well be getting, as much stuff as they possibly can. The whole mattress burning shit at the end just completely doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I don't understand at all why he would waste resources and burning the stupid mattresses. Why did you even take them in the first place?
We also see during this audit that the missing guns, they have 2 missing guns from the armory where Olivia is supposed to be watching guard and has the inventory for the guns and the food and the rations and everything. And Olivia almost dies thanks to Spencer, because Spencer decided to try to hide guns because he didn't trust Rick in the beginning. Well, finally, Spencer and Rosita come back, and of course Rick confronts him about it because Rick found the guns in the little air conditioning duct. So I'm glad that Rick found him. I'm glad Olivia didn't have to die because of Spencer being a douchebag.
Honestly, Spencer didn't even seem concerned for her life either. All he really honestly cared about was being caught. It really that's what it seemed like to me, honestly. He didn't seem like he was really even caring that, anything about finding the weapons or what could have happened or whatever else.
We also see during this whole first visit to Alexandria that Carl's going to try to be big and bad, and I honestly thought that Negan was going to hurt him or hit him with the bat or something, because he was trying to stop Negan's group from taking all the medicine, which would have been fine, except for Negan's half is different from everybody else's half. Half to Negan means whatever Negan says, and then he leaves you the rest. But Carl thought that he was going to try to stop the guy from taking all of the medicine, and Negan, jumps in. Carl tries to shoot the guy, and Negan jumps in there with Rick, and of course Rick tries to break it up, and that doesn't work. But luckily Negan, I guess, likes Carl. So in the end of this, we see that Carl's fine and Negan's fine, and, all is well, I guess, in Alexandria.
Negan keeps saying he's a reasonable guy, but every time shit happens, it seems like it's Rick's group that is causing more and more of the problems to happen, and more Negan has to kind of, lock him down. Because I think this whole thing with Carl and all the weaponry and shit, I think it was Carl's fault that they lost all their weapons. I think that's major the point. I still think, though, he should have left them at least something, because I don't see how they're going to be able to function correctly without any weapons at all. I know they can with knives and whatever else, but I believe he should at least left him something. Hell, the 22. What the fuck are you really going to kill with a 22 at this point? I think, honestly, one more thing real quick, that when Negan met the father for the very first time, I really believe that really just startled the shit out of him, because he kind of acted like he did as well, but I really think that he was not expecting an actual preacher or a priest or anything to be still around at this time.
Yeah, we see Father Gabriel, he kind of almost lies or omits the fact, or just kind of lets Negan think that Maggie is dead by digging a fake grave, which in turn I think is going to save Maggie for a little bit, because Negan even said, that he was going to try to take her back to his compound with him because she was broken, and he was probably going to do nasty things with her because that's what he said he was going to do, or that's what he alluded to. But anyways, I think that Father Gabriel saved Maggie from that. We do find out in the preview that she is alive and well. She's at the hilltop, which follows suit with the comics and everything. But I am really happy that Father Gabriel kind of stepped up his game and is thinking on his feet. And he's a preacher, but he can also kind of bend the rules when it comes to Negan's group. He gets it.
Well, I have to think that maybe Negan will actually just kind of leave the father alone a little bit, maybe. Just kind of like they do in wars and whatever else to those monasteries, and that's in the middle of fighting and whatnot most of the time. But kind of one thing I want to talk about where Rick was actually telling everybody that he is no longer in charge. I'm kind of curious why he didn't do this sooner, instead of just waiting to the last possible minute. But maybe, this has to be a pretty bad time for him, so maybe he was just trying to drag it out as long as he possibly could, maybe?
I think the reason why Rick waited so long is because now it shows the group that Rick is pretty much powerless when it comes to Negan. And with Negan's first visit to Alexandria, we definitely see that Rick is pretty much powerless. I mean, Negan has him by the balls, and that's it. That's all there is to it. He has that entire town wrapped around his little finger, and he will have them doing whatever he wants them to do, because if not, they know that somebody's going to die.
Well, I'm going to jump down to my final thoughts. I'm really kind of curious about Daryl. I hope he's not completely broken, but I don't think he is. I think, honestly, this character, only to break this character would be by killing him, honestly. I think he's just buying his time. I think when Negan was talking to him or whatever else, and so was Rick, I really believe he was keeping his mouth shut because he knew if he opened it up, he could theoretically cause more problems because he's still hurting over killing Glenn. So we all know that was his fault in the first place. But that's probably kind of what he wanted to do. He wanted to keep his mouth shut and probably actually save more of his friends.
Well, my final thoughts on this episode are going to go more towards Michonne. We see that Michonne is trying to do target practice with one of the guns that Negan doesn't even know about. She does end up hitting a deer, but has to slay the walker with her sword. And then she brings the gun back, and of course Rick sees her in the window, so he goes and grabs the gun, and she brings out the deer and gives it to Negan. But we also see later on in the episode, she's the one that finds the mattresses that are being burnt down the road a ways from Alexandria. This is going to piss her off a lot. I have a feeling that this is going to take her character in a completely different direction. She already wants to fight back, and Rick is trying to tell her, no, this is how our way of life is, but I don't think she's going to settle for that. Not after the mattresses and everything else that's went down. I can't wait to see where she goes with this.
Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting to see exactly which direction this takes everybody, because everything is completely up in the air. You're really honestly not even sure what is going to be happening. Honestly, in the whole Negan thing, he's definitely a showman that I think he wastes too much resources, honestly. Kind of reminds me of the guy in charge in Waterworld, the captain of the big freaking ship, always wasting oil all stupid freaking time. But honestly, guys, if you guys like these, hit those like buttons, those subscribe buttons, leave those comments and theories, and we'll catch you guys next time.